right, what's going on? Back for episode 5 of Getting Buckets. This time I got 3 people with me. Got my dog Owen, my dog Lucas, my dog Curtis. What's going on, y'all?
What's
What up,
up?
Will?
What up? What
What's
up?
going on? Excited to be here.
Thanks for having us.
Yep. We're just gonna be sitting here. It's gonna be our best episode yet, man. Got a lot of personalities, a lot of different takes, so this one's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So we also got 2 Clipper fans and 2 Laker fans.
facts,
So that'll be a good one.
facts.
They didn't even know
Um,
I liked the Lakers until like a couple months ago. So
all right, yeah, it's all right. We take all the like friends we got. What we going? While we're on that topic, let's start with today's game. We're recording this right after Lakers Pacers and Bron's tipping. What did y'all see and how y'all feel about that game? We'll start with
Uh,
Owen.
So we were flipping back and forth from the Clippers and Lakers game. LeBron had 2 points in the first half. Hadn't done that in, what was it, 1,000 games?
Something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ended up turning up in the fourth quarter like he usually does. Ended up with 13 or whatever. Man, of course he got that game winner in. Of course he saved
Yeah.
Luke.
Of course it
That would have
was.
been crazy if that game winner was to keep the 10-point streak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, we flipped through both of them. Obviously both LA teams got the dub tonight.
Yep,
Halliday
Clippers won too.
I saw 18 assists, which is insane.
From
But
Tally.
yeah, do you know why they took him out for that last possession? Why was he out?
Defense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Offense, defensive sub.
Yeah, but then that last offensive drive, fuck them.
They didn't even call a timeout.
They couldn't, yeah, they didn't call a timeout and they couldn't move the ball, and then they ended up just shooting a stupid
Yep.
double team three.
Yep.
But
yeah. Um I think it's good that Luca's finally starting to get going because at the start he was playing not up to his standard, and I think he had like 30 plus points in his past four.
Yep.
So it's good to see him going. Obviously, we need LeBron to be back in better form. I know he's been injured and stuff like that. Um, but I think like a common trend with the Lakers is they'll start the game well and get themselves in a good position and then kind of just like fall asleep on defense. I think they had like a 20-point lead tonight, and then
17.
yeah, 17, and then Indiana was able to completely cut it. So
Mm-hmm.
got to stay locked in for the whole game for sure is like a common trend with them, but they're doing well. So hopefully, we can just keep the momentum up from here.
Yeah, I think the Lakers, yeah, they start the games well. Their problem is that the third quarters, they suck at third quarters. Their last like 4 games, they've been outscored. I think in total, it's like 60 points they've been outscored by in third quarters. These last 4 games, but I think that's the problem, and they don't close quarters well. They were playing well before LeBron's injury and all that, obviously, and I think now it's like getting everyone back in the rhythm because now they're adding Rui back, adding Bron back after not having them.
Rui was huge at the end of that game.
Yeah, all them three. But that's what I'm saying. But there was it shouldn't have even been that close because he hit those back-to-back threes to put him up 6 with like a minute, and then Luca allowed Tyrese Halliburton to just go right by him for 2 straight
That was
possessions.
brutal.
yeah, I want to ask you something, Will. Although he's obviously Luka Doncic, and he's one of the greatest already of all time, and if not one of the greatest in the NBA currently. Um, how do you think his defense is strictly his defense gonna affect the Lakers come the postseason?
Well, I don't think he's ever going to be like a lockdown defender, but I think the difference is now, like in the regular season, he doesn't put forth the effort. I think, and when the playoffs come, he'll put forth more as long as he's putting effort around because he's never going to be able to lock anybody down. But as long as he's trying and moving and not just allowing people to go by like he did with Tyrese Halliburton tonight on those final 2 plays,
Right.
then it's fine. Because I think you have guys you have Vando, you have Dorian Finney-Smith, Gabe Vincent, all these other guys that can cover him on defense. And then you got and Bron, all these guys can cover him when they get past the way that they play defense because they kind of just whenever he's on somebody, they kind of just allow their guy to go past Luca and then they switch like whoever's in the back end. So that's kind of what they've been doing. But I think also in the playoffs though they'll be able to just study one team for a series, so they can kind of put Luca in spots where they can kind of get him out of the way and then they'll have a plan for when teams try to pull him up in pick and rolls or whatnot.
Do you trust the Lakers role players to carry the burden of them too if one of them is slacking during a game or having an off game?
Points wise,
points, rebounds, assists, defense.
Yeah, I think they can handle it because I think the third option, Austin Reeves, can if one of those guys is having a bad game, I think Austin Reeves can easily go and get 25, 30 himself.
Mm.
Is he the best third option in the NBA?
I think as a third option, he's the best third option. I think there's players that are individually better than him that are third option players, but I think playing third option, I think he's the best like third option fit in the NBA.
Yeah.
Because I think some third options are great, but they don't like them being a third option doesn't allow them to maximize their capabilities. I think he can maximize his ability while playing with two other people better than him than other third options can.
Yeah.
But obviously, I think like Porzingis is better than him. Um,
Evan
some
Mobley, if you count him.
Mobley, yeah, some other guys. But I think he's able to maximize himself to what a team needs because he can fit around other guys better because he can score without needing the ball, which a lot of other guys don't have the ability
Norman
to do. What do you say?
Norman Powell.
Yeah, I like Norman Powell. I like Norman Powell. The difference, they're very interesting. I think they're very similar. What Austin Reeves has that Norman Powell doesn't have is the playmaking ability. Austin Reeves can get other guys going. I think Norman Powell has a higher, especially when he's hot, he has a higher like scoring potential than Austin Reeves does, like on a consistent basis. But I think Austin Reeves can make up some of that differential with the way he's able to get his teammates involved.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes he's a little better at shot creating too, but
Yeah,
offense.
that's what I mean. Like I feel like his scoring output, like the way he can put in buckets, like when they're each hot, I think Norman Powell can get hotter than Austin Reeves can, but I don't think he can facilitate and get other people involved like Austin Reeves can.
But if we were doing a bracket, you would put them in the same category.
Yeah, I think they're very similar.
If you're doing tier lists, you put them next to each other.
Yeah, I think they're very similar.
I agree.
I love Norman Powell. When the Clippers made that trade, however long ago it was, when they got him and Covington, that was the exact trade I wanted the Lakers to make at that time.
We fleeced the Blazers.
Yeah.
in that one.
Yeah. I think they were just trying to salary dump. They knew that they was rebuilding, but I was like, that was the exact trade I wanted the Lakers to make at that time. I was like, get Norman Powell, get Covington, and then the Clippers got him. I was like, damn, that's a great move.
Yeah.
So Norman Powell made his debut in March of 2022 against the Bucks, and it was in LA, and he dropped 28, 4, and 3.
I like Norman Powell. I love his game. In terms and I mean, I think the for Boston, you'd probably say Porzingis is a third option, but I love Derek White too. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like he's in that. I feel like they're kind of all in that same Derek White, Austin Reeves, Norman Powell. I think Derek White is like the head of that tier, because of how elite he is on defense. I think Norman Powell plays good defense. Austin Reeves isn't he's an elite defender, but he's not bad either. But I think the way that Derek White can score now, because he couldn't score like this would have gotten, but the way he can score now, and the way he can guard 1 through 4 because he's 6'6". So
Yeah.
I think they're all in that same like bracket, and I think he would be like the head of that tier of player.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I rock with him. Speaking of that, while we're kind of on that topic, I want to hear you guys' top underrated role players.
Top. Okay.
I'll start.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
So this player in particular, when he came to the Lakers,
Of course.
through a trade, and it's Finney Smith.
Dodo.
And at first,
Who's better?
I didn't think he was playing well at all. Like he wasn't shooting the ball well, and he wasn't as impactful on defense as he's known to be. But I think recently he kind of like got comfortable and made adjustments, and he has played like a huge role into the Lakers' success. And JJ's definitely counted on him like big time, plays a bunch of minutes. And now he's starting to shoot the three a lot better, and he's just playing and he's just making like a lot of plays that, you don't really get credit for on the stat sheet. So
Yep.
I would either go with Finney Smith, or another player that I think is super underrated is Drew Holiday on the Celtics.
Been like that forever.
Yeah. If you can even count him as a role player, but
Yeah, that would be my only argument is he like considered a role player?
I just
But
started.
right.
but
Um,
he no doubt. I love Drew Holiday.
But
I
yeah,
wanted to say about DFS. I think he's a great fit, obviously, because he played with Luca for many years in
Yeah.
Dallas, so he just helps him fit in a little easier.
Yeah, no, that's a good point,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. And yeah, I think to your point about him starting slow, they said when he first got traded, he had some ankle injury, so he was on like a minutes restriction, so they couldn't play him like full entirety of the game. So he was playing in spurts, which I think threw off a lot of his shooting rhythm.
Yeah.
Um, and now with them going small, I think with them going small, he's kind of able to play at his highest version of himself because he's one of those guys that can switch 1 through 5 and guard all positions.
Yeah.
And then he also is able to hit those corner threes, which kind of pulls bigs out when they go small, which is something that they're going to have to do because they don't have another big outside of Jackson Hayes.
Hmm.
So yeah, I like that pick. What
Yeah.
you got, Lucas?
I actually got three. So the first one, the original one I was thinking of was Mike Conley on the
Mm,
Wolves. He's just a vet. Like he does everything right. It's not like he is like the amazing game-changing player, but he just does everything right, you know. And his IQ is like he's a vet, so obviously he's been around. He
yeah.
knows what works, he knows what doesn't work. I feel like you could put him in there any scheme on any team and it would just work. Right. So yeah, and he can shoot the ball well. He can pass well. He's a good team player. Like I said, he's a vet. So that's a good one I like. My second one is home. The French Knight, Nico Batum. He's 36, 37, and he's doing this, you know. He shot great tonight. I think he went 3 for 3 from
What
the three-point
about
line.
what about him as underrated?
Underrated. He does everything right. He's such a good defender.
What about
Like,
him
bro,
as
there's that whole meme about fourth quarter yelling, "Why the fuck Batum in?" I'm putting him in. I want him in. I want him in the fourth quarter. He's a great defender.
That's a fair
He's lockups. I don't know if you guys saw the video of him on the French Olympian team during the
Yeah. In the doc, I saw the doc. Yeah.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
He just man, he's got heart. He everything he does is right. I love that he's like on the Clippers. And then my third poll is Trey Murphy,
Mm,
third
pick.
on the Pelicans. Yeah, he's lengthy, he's athletic, he's a great defender. He can shoot the fuck out of that three ball. Um, the Pelicans are like kind of weak and ridiculed by injuries, but nah, he's a player I'd love to have.
I would argue in come next year, I don't think he's going to be in this role player
I
category.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
thinking
no,
that. Is
definitely
he a
not. He's
role player?
this year, yeah, for sure.
He's like an up and coming star, I think.
Yeah, he's on his way. He's for sure going to be an all-star in these next 2, 3 years.
I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, he's great. But yeah, those are my three.
Like him. I like them all. What you got, O?
My guy, this guy has been a big reason for the Pistons resurgence. You know, you think of Cade Cunningham, he's had a huge breakout season, but Malik Beasley is shooting 42% from three and shooting 9 of them a game.
And he
So
play defense.
I did not know
yeah,
that.
and he's been a huge 3 and D guy, averaging like 17 a game. He's been super underrated for their success this season.
I feel
Yeah,
like he found his home too because he didn't work with the Lakers. He didn't
Yeah.
work with the
no,
Wolves.
Mhm.
no.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, sometimes them lights be too bright.
yeah.
When there's no pressure, you can play at your best. Yeah, I like that Malik Beasley pick. For you, Lucas, when you said Minnesota, I thought you were going to say Jaden McDaniels.
Mm.
I think he's elite, but I think the best role player in the league, my guy is Josh Hart. That
Okay,
Mhm.
dude does
that's a good pick.
absolutely
That's a good
everything.
pick. That's a good pick.
I think Josh, like when you talk about things that he does, things that don't show up on the stat sheet, but he also does things that show up on the stat sheet. Him and Cat actually had a triple double. I think they were the first Nick teammates ever to have a triple double in the same game.
Mm.
Mhm.
Um, but he's 6'4", and they got him guarding centers. Like he literally guarded 1 through 5 at 6'4". Like Draymond do it, but at least Draymond's like 6'6", 6'7". They got Josh Hart doing it at 6'7". So I feel like the way and they kind of use him as like a hybrid guard, like point guard kind of role
Yeah.
at times where they allow him to run pick and rolls and whatnot and get other players involved because he has good IQ and he has good pass ability.
Dude,
The
he plays
entire
all 48, just
Yeah,
nothing
that's what I'm saying. And he's Iron Man, and he doesn't miss games. So it's like for me, if I could have any player like, and you can plug and play him on any team because he's so versatile and he
Yeah.
doesn't need the ball. So for me, like if it was me, if I had any role player that I can and you could put on any team, is for sure for me it would for sure be Josh Hart.
He's
Yeah.
a dog.
Yeah. Those are all good picks. What if we made a team out of all of our picks? You think they're a playoff team?
They're gonna be hard. They're gonna be hard to beat because they're gonna play hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna play harder than all the other guys. You run. Let's see. Who do we all say? You put what? Mike Conley at the one, Malik Beasley at the two,
Josh Hart at the 3.
Josh Hart at the three,
Yes,
Murphy.
PFS
All right,
at the four.
we need a big.
We need a
Yeah.
big. Let's choose one big.
We need an underrated
underrated.
big.
Yeah, most
big.
underrated big. Ooh.
Hartenstein.
Oh,
Hardenstein's a good one.
Yeah, Hartenstein's a good
one.
He's solid.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, he's a good one.
I like
He getting paid like a star
Not
though.
many people know about Khalil Ware for the Miami Heat, but he's pretty good.
Khalil Will. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what are we saying is underrated? I was gonna say Claxton.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's not bad actually.
just no one talks about the Nets anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, I think I like Hardenstein though. I think because he's gonna be another one. They're gonna play hard. He's gonna get rebounds, and he got that little like floater going. Like
Yeah, and he can pass too, and from the middle of the floor,
Yeah.
he's lethal.
that's yeah. When they don't, I think that's the Thunder are gonna need that because I think in the play, as good as Shea is, I think that he's gonna need somebody else to come to the party. In the playoff, that was their problem last year. So my question all year has been, as good as they've been in the regular season, when the playoffs come, can Jalen Williams play as good as he's playing right now, if not better? Because in the playoffs, you usually got to play better to beat
Yeah.
teams.
Yeah. Plus Hartenstein has aura with the Batman, man.
Yeah. Bro, you know he's black,
Yeah, he's bright skinned.
bro. I did not know that dude was black. I was like, what in the world? All right, man. So yeah, that's our top underrated role players, man. Let us know who y'all think is y'all best underrated role players, man. Another topic that's been going crazy today: LeBron and Stephen A.
Yeah, crazy.
I don't think we've ever seen LeBron this like just like bro. He don't like he's unfiltered right now.
Can you like break down
Yeah.
the context
Yeah.
for us?
Yeah. So it started what about a month ago when, or I guess it was a little longer, but it started when Stephen A was on First Take one day, and he pretty much and he's talking about Bronny after Bronny had a bad game or whatever, but he wasn't talking about Bronny on the court, and he goes and he talks about how he says he's pleading with LeBron as a father to like stop this. And so that's just what he's talking about. And nobody thinks anything of it until the Lakers played the Knicks about a month ago. And Stephen A is sitting courtside, and LeBron saw a moment during a timeout, and he went over there and pressed him. And after the game, the video went viral of Stephen A getting pressed by LeBron. And since then, Stephen A's been on, like as LeBron put it today, he's been on a Taylor Swift tour, talking about the incident. And LeBron finally had enough of it and went on Pat McAfee show today and talked about why he did it and he would do it again if he had to because he felt like he has to protect not only his household and the players because he feels like he said critiquing Bronny or any player just on strictly basketball is fine, but he feels like what Stephen A did talking about LeBron as a father and whatnot crossed the line from basketball to personal. So that's LeBron's beef with Stephen A. And Stephen on the other side, Stephen A continues to double down on that. It wasn't personal and he was talking basketball. But like I said, in the words that he said, it had nothing to do with basketball. He said, I'm pleading with you as a father to stop this.
Was he talking about a bad game Bronny had in the G League or the NBA?
It was a bad game Bronny had in the NBA.
Okay, because he doesn't see many minutes, so
I
you
think
can't really have much of a bad game when you're playing 10 minutes. But
I agree.
yeah,
yeah. I think like the narrative
Not even 10 minutes. He's playing like 4 minutes.
right.
the narrative like is so surrounded about like just Bronny's involvement with like the Lakers being obviously so forced because obviously that's his dad. So, like when LeBron's kid is on the team, like it is, like it's a hard line to draw there when it becomes like strictly basketball and then personal, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like that is his kid.
Mhm.
But I think this whole incident kind of just like since it's happened, like, obviously Bronny has started to like gain his confidence a little bit more and play better. So
He
I
had,
think
he had 39. Sorry to interrupt. He had 39 in the G League.
Yeah,
in his last game,
Yeah, in his
right?
last G League
it's
game.
bad.
Yep.
You knew that, Will?
Yeah, he had 39 and in the last game he played when all the guys were out, when they played I think it was Milwaukee. He went 7 of 10 and had like 16 points, like
Mhm.
4 rebounds, 3 assists.
Yeah.
On how many minutes? Was
In
that?
that game, he played 30 minutes. That was the first game he got actual minutes, and he had I think it was 16 points on 7 of 10 shooting and like 4 rebounds, 3 assists.
Yeah, people are
He
just
looked good. Like it's funny that this is all happening now just because like he's starting to play better and he looks like,
Yeah.
he fits in as an
yeah.
NBA player.
He's also the 55th pick, and people are acting like he was the first pick selected in the draft. And you don't hear anything about the first or second pick taken, who, by the way, well, granted, they're playing a little better as of now,
Sar's been hooping.
particularly.
Stop it. Sar's been hooping.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. As of now, but when they started the season, everybody was still talking about Bronny and the first and second pick, Rist Asher in Atlanta and Alex Sarr. They didn't start the season well. They weren't playing
Yeah.
great,
Yeah.
and nobody was talking about it. All you heard was Bronny, and Bronny was only getting in to play mop up minutes in the final 3 minutes of games.
Mhm. But when it's a tough act to follow when you're LeBron's son. You know what I mean? So,
True.
but
And also, it was such a weak draft class. Like
he's so weak.
Sar
Yeah.
and Zach Richache, like
Yep.
not much hype going into that one.
Yeah.
Bronny's been the main focus of that draft class.
Yeah. Like it's understandable why he's the focus of the draft class, but for me, it seems like people a lot, especially people that don't like LeBron, they're trying to find a reason to dig at LeBron because they haven't been able to do it to him on the court because he's arguably the greatest player of all time. So it's like they can't dig at him there. So it's like, okay, we can't dig at him on the court. So we're going to take it out on his son, even though his son's not like anybody else is getting in mop up duty. We're not talking about, but we're going to talk about Bronny because we want to get back at LeBron. That's
But
what it seems like to me from a lot of
it's
the
just
media.
more of an argument of why LeBron's the GOAT. Like MJ doesn't have any kids in the
Yeah,
NBA
yeah.
dropping 16 points. His kids didn't even get close.
Right.
Bronny's
Right.
6'2" and getting buckets. I mean,
You saw
And he might have another one on the way.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Bryce.
Big Bryce.
Bro, Bryce looks better than Bronny too.
Well, and
Bryce at this age looked better than Bronny at Bryce's age.
He's big. That's why.
and
Yeah.
Bryce is bigger. Bryce is like 6'7", so he's got NBA size on him.
Yeah. Bryce is what is he? 16, 17?
He's a senior this year, so yeah, he's like 17, 18.
Yeah.
Where's he going?
Arizona.
Oh, Arizona.
He's soon going to play at Arizona.
Or Arizona.
No, Arizona,
Okay.
not Arizona State. So yeah, he might even have two sons coming. But yeah, I don't know. The whole thing to me is just it's very weird, and it's like for me it's like it seems like Stephen A. really wants to have like he really has an issue with LeBron, and I'm not sure what his issue with LeBron is because he's been dragging it himself. Like I think LeBron finally just had enough and mentioned it today on the Pat McAfee show, but outside of LeBron confronting him, he never talks about Stephen A. Stephen A. has been talking about this ever since it happened.
Well, do you think like, because obviously Stephen A is like a part of television, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
like, I feel like it's hard to decipher between like his character and his true intentions, you know what I mean? So like, at the same time, like, I just seems to me he goes on TV and just says the most outrageous
He's clip
things.
farming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
says the most outrageous things possible.
That could be the
Like this happen, you know what I mean?
That's his job.
Yeah, that could be the case, but he's also a guy who goes on and says the same I'm the same person like on camera that I am off of camera. Like what he's talking about. Like he's the guy infamous for saying if you have a problem with me, like see me in person and tell me about it or call me or whatever. And then LeBron did that, and now he's saying he doesn't like the way LeBron confronted him. He could have called him, and it's like you're the one that's notorious telling players to come and find you and talk to you when they have an issue. And LeBron did that, and now you still have a problem with it. So it seems like to me he was just like he's been running his mouth all this time, and then when a player actually did what he told him to do, now he's like backtracking and like trying to play victim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
I
So
can't believe he said he put his hands on it. Like LeBron is 6'8", 250,
That is
pure muscle.
in Stephen A's fairness in that part, he did say he still would have lost that fight.
Yeah,
Did you see his 1-2?
Yep, you saw Braun posted it too.
that weak ass one too.
Yeah, that was a horrible one too. I don't know. How do you find a video like that? And if you're Stephen A, I would never confidently post that and be like, like,
Bro, he thought bro. To him, like I said, like he's seeing it through his eyes. He thought he was putting in work. To us, we like, what the hell are you doing? But he thought he was putting in some work. Braun goes womp 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 on that video, by the way.
I like that womp womp too. Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like yeah. But my biggest thing was, bro, we've never. How do you guys feel about LeBron being this unfiltered?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like now's the right time for it since, he's been in the league so long and like we're not really certain about his future. So like I think he's done everything. He's played however many years. Like I think right now is the right time for him to kind of just like be unfiltered, go out there and just enjoy himself every single day, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think for me, um, I think it's obviously, and he's 40, so we already know he's close to the end. But I think that really signifies how close he is to the end because I feel like if he was in year 12, he wouldn't be talking like that
Mhm.
because he still has to like be the face of the league and put on for the league. But now he's at the point where it's like, bro, I'm out of here in a year or two. I'm gonna say what I want
Yeah.
because there's nothing you guys can do to me at this point.
I like it. I like it because he's already solidified himself as
Mhm.
that
I like it
guy.
too.
Him doing that, like opposed to some like if Ant were to do that, right? A young
Hmm.
star, it could like affect his career in the long run because teams could be like, oh, like he's got like we don't know if we can control,
Absolutely. That's already why he kind of said he doesn't want to be the face of the league.
right, right, and then like the PR team might not know how to handle a situation like that, but so it's cool that LeBron is in that situation. I want him to be more unfiltered.
I
And
think I want all players to be unfiltered. The problem is everybody's not LeBron, so everybody can't get away with it.
Yeah,
But I would love for all of them to be unfiltered and really speak what's on their minds. I feel like us as fans would love to like we love to see this. But then and then same thing, like even just talking on the court, like when players show emotion on the court and they get a tech, it irritates my soul. Like when Ant remember when Ant got thrown out against the Lakers?
Oh,
Like
that.
I'm a Laker fan, and so like it helped my team. So like it was good in that regard. But I also sat there. It's like, bro, like no, like I feel like sometimes the refs feel like people pay money to go see them. Like nobody came to see
oh
you.
yeah,
We
yeah,
came
yeah,
to
yeah.
see Ant Man, Bron, Steph Curry. We didn't come to see you.
And
So like,
eject the star player, bro.
yeah, you
No matter
saw,
what.
did you see when Reeves got thrown out not too long
yeah,
ago?
Yeah.
and that's kind of that's part of it. And they said he said one too many f bombs.
Yeah.
My thing was Draymond Green walks down the court the entire game dropping f bombs.
Yeah, yeah, the
But he
entire
didn't say one too many.
every
And that's what I'm saying. That's the way it's ref. It's like certain players have a longer leash. Draymond, you can't give Draymond a tech for dropping f bombs because he drops them all game, so he'd get thrown out in every game. But because Austin Reeves doesn't show that kind of language every game, he's going to get thrown out when he uses it because it's out of character for him. Even though Draymond's going to get away with using that word the entire game.
right.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like, and that's we can kind of just talk about that. That's for me. That's my biggest problem with refereeing. It's not like if it's gonna be called one way, just call it the entire way, both ways the entire game. Like if it's gonna be a ticky tack game, okay, just call it ticky tack the entire way. If you're gonna make no calls, then just call it no calls the entire way. Don't give one team calls and other team not calls.
Yeah, a lot of these refs, that's a good point you make. A lot of these refs just have really big heads and, want to show their dominance and their power and their impact in the game. And it's like,
I agree. Like,
no,
have you seen that video? I don't know the ref's name, but it was like back early 2000s, late 90s, and he's like cussing at one of the players.
no, I haven't seen
There's a I don't know what the ref's name was, but he was talking to some player, and some player was talking to him, and then the ref just started talking back, but he didn't give him a technical. The ref just spoke his mind back to the player, and I'm like, that's what more refs should be about. Like, bro, just speak your mind back to the player and let him keep like you don't have to throw a tech. Obviously, there's certain things that players should get techs for, and we get it. But if they just drop an f bomb and keep running down the court, and it didn't affect anything in the game, like, bro, just keep it pushing and keep playing.
Yeah, I
They
agree.
need to have refs do post game interviews when they eject Ant Edwards. They got to go on a post game interview and
Yeah.
say why they ejected Ant Edwards and why all
I
the had them watch the rest of the game without the star player there.
I completely agree. I think that could work, and I think there needs to be a public grading of each ref after each game. The
Yeah.
way we can obviously see a player's game and grade them, the refs need to be graded just like that. And
Yeah,
I believe there should be some kind of fine for refs making poor calls.
that's what I was gonna say, a fine. Because like if let's say I live in like Kansas or somewhere, a state, like one of those flyover Midwest states that just don't really have a basketball team, and I have a family that are huge Laker fans, right? And it's my kid's birthday. I take my whole family, fly him to LA for this game just to see LeBron. and then LeBron gets thrown out 10 minutes into the game. It's like the biggest letdown, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, they need to just the same way the players are held responsible, the refs definitely need to be held responsible.
Completely agree. You have something to say, Curtis?
Yeah, I was just gonna say like they gotta do a better job of like keeping it more consistent because like they always say how like once the postseason comes around, like the refs are gonna let them play a little bit more
Hmm.
and like things are gonna be more aggressive and physical. It's like why don't you just hold the same standard like throughout the whole year? You know what I mean? Like
Good point.
maybe if they held them to like a postseason standard throughout the regular season, like we see less ejections, you know what I mean? And like we see less or we don't see players like lose their damn minds as much with these refs, you know what I mean? Because what they got to understand is like these are professional athletes who are like, competing every single night and like they're gonna get frustrated, you know what I mean? And like if the ref's just sitting there like on a power trip, you know what I mean? Like that's not a good relationship between the refs and the players, and then obviously there's gonna be problems. So
Yep. And
honestly, yeah, the refs just have to be better for sure.
yep, yep. And to your point, yeah, I think the relationship, like, and it's kind of the same thing with like media voting. Like, it's the refs can just not give somebody a foul because they don't like that the player's been yelling at them all game.
Right.
Similar to how the media can just vote, they can pick somebody else to vote for somebody else for any award if they don't like a certain player who should actually get the award.
Right.
Um, so the same way I think refs should be like everything about them should be public. I think things about media members and their voting should be public because all of their media, all the media votes are always they're hidden. You don't know who voted for who. And like when you have things like LeBron James get not getting a defensive player of the year, but Marcus All getting it when he was second team all defense.
Right.
Um, but there's five people that made first team all defense that didn't get the defensive player of the year, but the a player on second team got it. Like that kind of thing doesn't make sense to me. So I feel like that kind of thing is where we need to see where people voted and how they got to their answer.
Yeah. And it's cool that refs rotate games, so like you can't single a certain one out. I don't know about I feel like after every game might be a little too much, but maybe after a series of like every 20 games, the fans can go on the NBA website and vote, for the these refs, like what they if they like them or if they don't like them. That way, like at the end of the season, the NBA can see like, okay, these fans consistently voted I don't know, Scott Foster, a 1 out of 5 stars, every single month. And Scott Foster refed all 30 teams. Like it wasn't just a specific group. So it's not like just Laker fans or just Knicks fans that are voting him. You know what I mean?
I
So
think they do that for the MLB umpires, I want to say. It's a
That's
good
how it
point.
should be. Yeah,
yeah,
there should be a grading system for all of these people because even refs have bias. Like you guys know, remember that game when LeBron got fouled in Boston a couple years ago?
by Tatum.
And they didn't
Yeah.
call.
The ref that was standing right there, the ref that's in the picture that everybody sees, that's standing right under the basket, is a known Celtics fan. His entire family is Celtics fans.
Wow.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
did
see
not
And
that.
know
he,
that.
yeah, and after that game, like all these people went on social and they dug it out and they were like the Celtics record. I don't know the exact numbers, but they had a whole lot of wins to a whole lot less losses when he was refereeing their games.
It's like Scott Foster and Chris
Chris
Paul.
Paul, yeah. There's clearly beef there. I like that beef though. The Chris Paul Scott Foster
So
beef.
yeah, so I think there definitely needs to be some kind of checks and balances to this, um, because yeah, the all that kind of thing is getting out of hand. All right. But that was a good combo. But next, let's get to some NBA playoff conversation. And let's
Yeah.
get to who we think are actual contenders and and then other guys that are actual pretenders.
I'm gonna pull up the standings real quick. So, as of right now, as if the NBA were playoffs were to start today. Um, do it. Okay. So we got if the NBA playoffs were to start today, we would have the Bulls playing the Magic, or no, the Magic playing the Hawks for the play-in for the seventh seed, and then the Bulls and the Heat competing, and then the winner of that game would play the eighth seed, right?
Mhm.
So first off, I guess we'll start from the bottom up. If the Heat and the Bulls played in a play-in, who do you have winning?
You said the Heat and the Hawks.
The Heat and the Bulls. The Heat are
Oh,
the
the
10
Heat and the Bulls.
Bulls.
I'm gonna go with the Heat. I go with the Heat. I don't
Really?
like I don't like either team. But if you force me to pick one, I'd go with the Heat simply because they have playoff experience, and I don't know anybody else. Like I don't think anybody else Buse has, but outside of him, I don't think anybody else has played in a playoff game.
Okay.
I feel like the East playing like we've seen all these games before.
Yeah.
Like
Every year.
It's the same
every
teams
every year
too.
Miami ends up with that 8th spot. You know
Miami,
what I mean?
Atlanta.
Yeah,
And it's
like
always the Bulls in the plan.
yeah. And
Yeah, always.
The East is always not great.
like the
Let's
one
see.
the one difference we have is Detroit
Yeah, Detroit fifth.
up
Wow.
there in 5th.
So okay, let's say, whichever one. They would
Mhm.
play the winner of the Magic and the Hawks. You got Orlando or Atlanta, Will.
Uh, uh, I'd go. I'd go Atlanta simply because I'd pick Orlando if they had everyone healthy.
Okay.
But they got so many injured. I think Suggs is out for the year. They just got Franz back. But I think the other Wagner brother is out for the year. So they just got a lot of injuries. So I'd probably lean away from them. But if they were healthy, I'd pick them over. I think I'd pick them over the Hawks.
The thing with these playing games is they're one game.
They're
Like,
one
yeah.
game.
So
not
anything
always the
can
better
happen.
team's gonna win.
So
Yeah.
I can do the series. So okay, obviously I have the Cavs beating the Celtics winning both the 7th against the 8th and the 7th seed. So I guess a good one would be the Knicks and the Bucks.
3 versus 6 as it stands right now.
Yeah.
Healthy. I think the Bucks beat them 6 games at most.
What's up with Dame though?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Healthy, I think they beat them, but yeah, they just said Dame has blood clots in his leg, so there's no, I don't know. They said he's out indefinitely, so there's no
Do we know when
timetable for
Brunson's
when he
coming
comes
back?
back.
Do we know
Um,
when Brunson's coming back?
that's what I was gonna. And Brunson's also hurt, and even when he comes back, he's probably not gonna be 100% healthy.
Yeah.
Um, so I'd say without Dame, I think it could go. I think it could go 7, but I still pick the Bucks. I don't think they have an answer for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah. And
And I
then
think and I think the rest of the supporting cast is I don't trust Cat in playoff games.
I don't either. I agree with you. I have the Knicks. I'm sorry, I have the Bucks over the
I'd
Knicks
probably
as
go
well.
with the Knicks.
I'd go with the Knicks. This is gonna be the end of Giannis and Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Bucks are frauds.
I would love to see Giannis get out of there. I don't know if I don't know if we're gonna see that happen though.
Yeah.
I'm with you though, Will. If Dame plays and
Oh yeah,
Giannis,
if Dame plays. There's
Yeah.
no uncertainty for me. I think they beat him in 5 games. I think maybe the Knicks can maybe get to 6, but I think the Bucks will beat him in 5 if Dame was healthy.
No, so no Dame you have New York though.
No, I'd probably I think I'd go Bucks in 7.
Okay, you still go with Milwaukee.
no Dame with Brunson in, I have Knicks.
Okay.
But yeah. And that leaves us with the last two. Pistons, Pacers.
That's a good matchup.
Yeah, I like
That's a
that.
great matchup.
Pacers.
Okay.
I don't think I like the Pistons, but no playoff experience.
I agree. And
Yeah.
Cade is like hooping, but he like
And as of right now, if it was to end the same way, Indy has home court.
mm,
I would love to see the Pistons win that
Instantly.
series, but give me the Pacers for sure.
Yeah, I'd go to Pacers.
yeah. Okay. And then I guess you have the Celtics or the Cavs making it out of the East.
No, I don't believe in the Cavs to beat Boston.
Yeah. I don't either. I have Boston making it out of the East.
Yeah.
Boston,
Actually, I think they beat Cleveland in 5 games.
yeah, they're too good.
Yeah, I think they're gonna smack Cleveland.
I will say though, Donovan Mitchell has a history of big games against the Celtics.
The problem is the rest of his team does not have a history of playing well in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
their problem. We're
Um
gonna see if Kenny Atkinson changed that, but I just don't believe it. I think what does help their case though is that they got Daniil Hunter at the deadline. If they didn't get him, I don't think they'd have any chance against Boston,
Mhm.
like
yeah.
0. But they
Well,
got him, so they got a fighter's chance.
That leads me to the second half, the West. We would have the Suns and the Kings in the play-in. Who you got there?
Phoenix.
Me too. Especially with no
They got 2 big game players that can win a playing game.
Phoenix. Do you think Phoenix can
They're trash.
if they can maybe potentially lock in for the playoffs?
No.
Yeah, it's too late. Yeah.
It's just they haven't shown any like consistent winning basketball. Like they had won four in a row going into tonight, and then they got spanked by the Suns by 30. I mean, they got spanked by the Celtics by 30.
Yeah.
They don't play any defense. And
Man.
like in today's NBA, like you got Dallas over here trading Luka, to be better on defense. So like
You got to play,
obviously
yeah. You got to play some defense at
you
some
gotta
point.
play some defense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it obviously matters. So like
And these players are getting too comfortable not playing defense
They-
and only playing offense.
yeah, they can't do anything. They can't win any games if they're not gonna like play defense.
That's what happens when you put a big three together, and none of them are known for playing defense.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the Bradley Beal stat?
I don't know the exact stat, but the Suns have a really good record when
Yeah, you would think with Bradley Beal that they'd play better, but for me, it's like when you get a player like Bradley Beal and you're asking him to come in and be a third option and play without the ball when all he's done his entire life is play with the ball, and be able to shoot as many shots as he ever wanted to shoot, and now he has a cap on shots and he doesn't get the ball in his hands as much, and he's not known for playing defense. Why do you, for one, he's not going to be as good on offense, which is what you brought him there to do. And then two, his defense is not going to be as great because he's not going to want to play defense because he's not getting the shots up that he normally got. So why would he just go out here and play defense now?
Yeah,
Right.
I agree. So we said Suns though. They would play the winner of the Wolves and Warriors. You got the Wolves or the Warriors? I got the Warriors.
Mm. I'm gonna go the Wolves.
Okay, why?
Wow.
I'm gonna go the Wolves because I don't believe that the Warriors have enough shooting besides Steph Curry. And in the playoffs, like, can Draymond and Jimmy Butler make consistent shots? Because outside of Steph, who else is gonna be making these shots? Because you're gonna like Buddy Hield's been very inconsistent. And then their starting lineup is gonna be what? Dre's gonna be Jimmy, it's gonna be Draymond, it's gonna be what Kaminga's in it. Is Kaminga starting since he's come back?
Yeah.
That's no shooting. It's like, and then their defense is going to be, I think their tandem of Jimmy and Draymond has great defensive duo in them, but I don't know how it's going to work in a 7-game series where teams can plan against them because you can target so many other guys on their team.
This isn't a 7-game series though. One game, give me the Warriors.
Yeah.
Wait, no, they're not in the.
Dropped 35, 38.
This is the 7-8 play-in matchup.
Yeah.
Oh, the
That's what
Clippers
I'm
just
saying.
took over Golden State. Okay, I got it. It's a playing game. Who'd be at home? Golden State?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll still go Timberwolves. I think Ant-Man can go get that game by himself. And I don't think every time Golden State's been in the plan, they haven't won.
Okay. Yeah, you're right about
Right,
that.
they do have Jimmy now, so it's a different team, but every time they've been in the plan, they haven't won the game.
Okay, let me ask you something. You said earlier, you talked about how you don't have the Pistons because although they're young and good and gritty, they don't have playoff experience, right? So the next topic of convo would be my Clippers versus the young, great, gritty, but no playoff experience Rockets.
I think everybody wants to play the Rockets. I think that's who everybody in the West wants to play. OKC obviously won't play them, but I think everybody else wants to play against the Rockets. Whether you're the Lakers, you're Denver, you're Memphis, you're the Clippers, whoever gets seventh or eighth, I think they all want to play the Rockets.
If the Clippers do get seventh, they play the Rockets. If they stay sixth where they are right now, they play the Nuggets. But where do you fit the Clippers against those two teams? The Rockets, who do you have in the 7-game series between?
Clippers and Rockets, Clippers.
And what?
5.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, I think everybody wants to play Houston simply because they have no playoff experience. And I don't think they have a team built for playoff basketball. I think they have a team built for regular season basketball because they can get up and down and run the entire game. That's not going to happen in the playoff.
Yeah, they also don't have like solidified the guy. Is it Jalen Green? Is it
Exactly.
They don't have that guy that they can just trust in big moments.
Exactly.
So definitely James Harden.
Give me Houston.
Oh, you crazy. I think whoever Houston plays is going to beat Houston. I don't think Houston has a chance of getting out the first round.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay,
I don't know. I think
let me
they're
ask you
the
something
second
then.
seed for a reason. Like I think they're
Let me
pretty
ask you
legit
something then.
squad.
You don't have them getting out of the first round. Let's say by some crazy miracle, the Kings for the ninth seed win the play-in. They start hooping. They get that seventh seed and they play the Rockets, which could happen. It's not very likely, but it could happen. Who do you have in that series, the Rockets or the Kings?
That one's closer. Um, and that one's interesting. I don't see that happening like anybody with any stretch of the imagination. But if it was to happen, yeah, maybe I'd pick Houston then.
But that would be like the only one, huh? Because
Yeah,
I even if the same thing could happen with the Suns, and I know
yeah,
obviously
I do.
with the
That
Suns,
that'd be the only team I'd pick the Suns to beat.
yeah, give me Phoenix. Yeah, give me Phoenix over Houston for sure.
That's the only team I'd pick the Suns to beat.
And that might be a hot take because they're 12 more wins,
Phoenix over Houston.
12 less losses. Yeah,
I don't know about that.
give me Phoenix over Houston.
I don't
I'm with you,
I don't
Will.
trust Phoenix.
I'm with you, Will.
I don't trust Phoenix neither, but I also don't trust Houston at all. And in that series, I think like obviously the two best players are going to be in on Phoenix's team.
All right.
Yeah,
Lakers, Grizzlies, let's talk about it.
In 4 probably.
Yeah, Lakers will smack them. I think the same way I felt about Houston. I think everybody wants to play Memphis as well.
Memphis is
I don't think anybody's scared of Memphis or anybody's scared of Houston.
No, yeah, I agree.
I'm more scared of Memphis than Houston.
I would be, well, yeah, obviously, but I don't think anybody's scared of either one of them. I think if you're Denver, the Lakers, the Clippers, Golden State, Minnesota, all of those teams are gunning to play Memphis
Yeah.
or the Rockets. Those two teams, you don't want to play Denver in round one. You don't want to play the Lakers in round one.
You have
And then the
Denver.
other ones, you can't. They wouldn't be playing each other in round one. So I think all of them wants to play Memphis or Houston.
You have Denver beating the Clippers, the 6 and the 3.
Yeah, but I think that series goes seven, and I'd probably just pick Denver because they'd be at home in game seven.
Fair
Just
enough.
because of Jokic, too.
Yeah.
Kawhi's been fucking hooping.
But that can be the difference maker. If Kawhi can be Kawhi and do it for like it seems every time he gets in the playoffs, he gets some mysterious injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets heat,
and it's
dude.
always like a mystery what it is. And it's
Yeah.
always a mystery of how long he's out for. And it's like,
It's also like, because you never see it. It's like he finishes the game and he just had a great game, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
he's out and you didn't see anything happen.
which
Um,
could be like some stuff going on there. But I don't know.
Yeah, so I think the West is going to have great playoff hoops. I also don't think anybody's scared of OKC, to be honest with you. But I think OKC is better. They have more talent than all the others, so they can beat other teams. But I don't think anybody's scared of playing Oklahoma City neither.
I don't have OKC making it out of the West for sure.
I don't either. I
I
don't.
don't know, and this might be a hot.
They're going to the
hot
conference
take.
finals though, right?
This is a hot take. We could do
Depends
a
on
hot
who they
take.
got to play in that second round.
I don't have. I maybe have OKC maybe making the Western Conference Finals, but that even then is like a maybe. They're not making it.
Who's beating them?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Well,
Besides
he
the
thinks someone is clearly.
Lakers,
Give me
I
the
don't know.
Lakers. Give me the
I think
Lakers.
I think the Lakers and Denver can beat them.
The who?
And Denver.
Yeah, I was about to say Lakers, Nuggets. If Kawhi is healthy and they are hooping,
They have
OKC's
They have too
so
much-
complete.
never mind. No, I need to. That's a little.
they have too much defense.
And they have two
And Denver,
bigs who are
this is
so
like
good.
this is
They
like
they do have a lot of defense, but they had defense last year too. Their problem last year was they didn't have a second player to come to the party for SGA.
I can't confidently say I have the clue. I
Yeah,
don't
but
have
they had to play Luka and Kyrie.
And now they're gonna have to play Luka and Bron.
I also just think that's a
Yup,
lot better.
Yup.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess,
and,
but
and,
like,
and AR,
Oh,
or
but
they're gonna have to play Jokic and Murray
but they're-
and
but-
Aaron Gordon, who's scoring at a clip he's never scored at before.
Yeah, he had. You
No.
saw he had 38 last week.
Yeah, I think that was against the Lakers. Well,
Oh no,
Would-
maybe it was.
well, no, I don't know. He did have 38. That wasn't against the Lakers, but he did have a 30. Oh, 30. I think he had 30 against the Lakers. We won, but I think he did have 30.
Would you say this is the most confident you're in the Lakers against Denver
Yeah,
for the first time in a few years?
yeah. I wasn't confident in the Lakers. I wasn't confident in the Lakers against the Nuggets because I didn't trust Darvin Ham. I'm pretty sure I told both Owen and Lucas, like I'm like Darvin Ham, bro. He just can't coach. The Lakers were up double digits at half every game last year in the playoffs, and then the Nuggets made an adjustment, and Darvin Ham didn't know how to make an adjustment. He came in with a good game plan, and then the Nuggets would make their tweak to the game plan, and then all of a sudden he didn't know how to like change anything. That dude was awful.
Let me ask you.
That
Let
dude
me
was
ask you
awful.
something. I've been wanting to ask you. You have the Lakers winning it all, I'm assuming, this year.
Um, no, I don't think I don't really have a definitive Western pick. I think Boston for sure,
Okay.
and then I think it's gonna. And then I think ultimately it's gonna be Lakers, Denver, or the Thunder.
Okay. Oh, so that's where that was my next question. As a Laker fan, who are you scared of in the West?
I'm not scared of anyone.
Really?
Thunder as a Lakers
My,
fan.
my, my my thing my thing is in a 7 game series. I don't. How do you game plan for LeBron and Luka Doncic?
You attack Luka defensively. You wear out LeBron's 40-year-old self. You guys don't really have a solidified big. You pick on Jackson Hayes.
You're not scared of torture chamber?
No.
They're not gonna blitz Luca. They're just gonna let him play, like they're just gonna leave him out there to play 1-on-1.
I'm attacking
Let
Jackson,
them.
attacking Luka defensively if I'm playing the Lakers.
That's
LeBron is
fine. I mean, teams did that all of the playoffs last year, and they ended up in the finals.
Yeah, because they had uh Lively and Gafford over the top. Like Hayes is cool. Like don't get me wrong,
But
but
the
Hayes is
difference is that the Lakers don't necessarily have like center size outside of Hayes, but they have wing size. Like they're big as hell on the wing, so
yeah.
yeah.
they can rotate better than most
OKC
of these
has
other
two
teams can.
bigs on the court at the same time, though.
What do you say?
OKC plays two bigs at the same time.
I don't think they're going to be able to play that against the Lakers.
You don't think they play them against the Lakers? Chet can
I,
play as a
who,
wing.
who are you going to put Chet on?
Rui,
Hayes.
Hayes.
But you can, yeah, but you could put one big on one of them, and then the other one's going to have to guard Rui or Braun or AR or Luca.
I mean, Rui's not gonna torch Chet. Like,
But my point is he's gonna have to come out the paint. So like they can't just stand down there in the paint. And when they get there and like the same way people say they're gonna attack Luca, all Luca and Braun and they are gonna do is call for the screens and get mismatches because Chet can't guard. I think Hartenstein has a better chance of moving his feet and guarding those guys, but Chet can't guard those guys on the wing.
Hmm.
I mean, but you can say the same thing the other way. Those guys can't guard Shea.
Hartenstein's a great defender.
I think it's going to be the same way teams guarded them last year. I think they're gonna blitz Shea and make everybody else beat them because they couldn't do it last year.
So
That's what I'm saying. For the Thunder, they need Jalen Williams has to come to the party.
So you
If he
think it's
doesn't, they're going to lose.
Jalen Williams that's led to the Rockets' success this year? It's mainly Jalen Williams being like that big B guy to the team. Like, what is leading the Thunder to only have 12 losses thus far in the season, in your opinion?
What is leading them? Shea.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just Shea, because we've seen Shea do Shea things.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's my thing. Similar to the Rockets, it's like what that can work and that can also Shea all of Shea's fouls is not going to work in the playoffs. He's not going to
Oh,
get those.
dude, that's the most annoying.
That was also what happened in that Dallas series. He didn't get all them fouls he was getting.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. When they blitz Shea, it's if Jalen Williams comes to the party, they're as good as anybody. But if they don't get that number 2 guy, I don't think they can beat Denver or the Lakers.
Yeah, I do like that the NBA lets these players play a little more aggressively.
And that's what's going to be very interesting. Like if Shea's not getting those calls, which I don't think he's going to get in the playoffs, it'll be interesting to see if his 32 is still 32 or if it comes down to 25.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
Especially when he's getting blitzed the entire game because they're not going to let him beat them in the playoff series. I don't believe.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely
Unless somebody else comes to the party and then they're forced to send help to other guys. But if they can just send help to Shea and everybody else is like not hitting and going cold.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely with you on the Celtics making it out of the East. I think there's a bunch of people that can make it out of the West, but I have the Celtics in the finals for the East for sure.
Yeah, so the West to me is like all up in the air. I think the Lakers can go. I think I think Denver can go, and I think OKC can go. My only question for OKC is like as I've been saying is just Jalen Williams. He's got to come to the party.
Yeah.
If he's playing how he plays right now, they have a great chance. But if he plays how he played last year, no chance.
How far can the Clippers go if they stay healthy?
Um,
Every year.
if they finish there, they'd play. If it was to end like this, they'd play the winner of Golden State and Houston. Um, they have a chance of winning that series. So if it was to end up like this, they could possibly go to the West Finals because I think they'd avoid the teams that they
Yeah.
would be
Because they
scared to
could
play
play Golden
against.
State, right?
What you say?
Because Golden State is
Oh
what?
wait, actually,
Fifth? What is
oh no,
Golden State?
you're not seventh, you're sixth. They played Denver in the first round. I don't think they beat Denver in the first round. I thought you guys played the Rockets,
Yeah.
but you guys played Denver. I don't think, but because I thought it was you guys would have played Houston. I think you guys could beat them, and then you would have played the winner. You would have played the winner.
Honestly,
Harden needs to
Harden needs
step
to
the
have like a
fuck
generation,
up,
like
bro.
he needs to have like a fucking
He's been
generational
hoping though.
playoff.
Harden has been
If-
freaking hoping.
Yeah.
But we say that every year, and then it's the playoffs, and he
I was
starts.
going to say that's been his problem his entire career is when the playoffs start, he looks nothing like how he does in the regular season.
Yeah, yeah. Because it's that ISO ball. That ISO ball he loves to play
Yeah, it doesn't work.
does not work in the playoffs.
Nope. But that's what I think Luca learned last year. He learned to get off of it, and you saw Kyrie go berserk
Mm-hmm.
because you can't be on the ball the whole time. It
It
doesn't work
sucks
like that
Kyrie got
because
hurt.
even if you go get 30, the rest of your team is cold and not in rhythm. You're not going to win playoff games like that because nobody else is involved.
I think that AD Kyrie duo could have been nasty. Obviously,
Oh, I agree.
worse than the Luca Kyrie, but I think it could have been nasty. So it's a
I think
shame
it actually would have worked better than Luca and Kyrie.
because Luca's so on ball or what?
I think the pairing is just better. I think like for it's since you guys are Clipper fans, I think the very reason granted you guys were never healthy either, but I think the reason the Clippers never could have won with Kawhi and Paul George was because your two best players never could play together in the final 2 minutes of the game because they both did the same thing. Exactly. They have to take turns. They couldn't play together. Like all the great duos that can kind of play with each other. LeBron and AD can play with each other. Steph and Clay can play amongst each other. Magic and Kareem, Shaq and Kobe. They can go to two-man action and where you have to defend both of them at the same time. The Clippers couldn't do that.
It worked
Damon
for
Giannis, they could do the same thing
It worked for Luca and Kyrie.
until they ran up against Boston. And Boston's the exception because I think Boston has five guys that can all go do something. Their entire starting five can all go get 20.
Yeah,
That's insane.
that's
bro.
it. And
Yeah.
Boston is.
By far.
Have we
the
ever
best
seen a team this deep? Maybe we've seen it this good, but this deep, have we ever seen a team this deep?
A starting five? No, I don't think their bench is deep, but their starting five is immaculate.
Yeah. And
Incredible.
they all play so well together.
Their
Yeah.
starting five. Yeah, none of them care about the shots and when they're going to come. They just all swing the ball and somebody's going to be open.
Mm-hmm.
Although they weren't tested in the East last year. I still don't think they're going to be tested in the East.
How do you feel about
Here.
this Jason Tatum hate? Like people calling him like a soft superstar and all this. Like,
Yeah, I don't really know what the problem with like why Jason Tatum has so much hate. I don't like to me he's never done anything to get hate. Like I don't understand. And when he first got drafted, he was loved. Everybody was saying he was 19 when he was 24. Like everybody was still saying he's 19. And like that was like the running joke. And then all of a sudden, like people, I don't know, it's because he won a championship last year. I don't know if it's because Jaylen Brown got the Finals MVP. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I don't really understand the hate. That's a good question. What do you guys think about his hate?
The stuff he was doing after he won the finals was a little bit corny, copying all.
Okay, yeah, that was corny.
I wasn't a fan of that. I think he's a little overhated.
Over
yeah, definitely undeserved hate.
Yeah.
overrated. Where do you think he's ranked like media wise?
Oh, I said overhated.
Oh, overhated.
I mean, he could be a little over. I don't know.
Will, give me your top 7 NBA players currently healthy right now in the NBA. Do not put LeBron number one.
No, I think the best player in the world is still Giannis.
Really?
Really? Over Jokic?
To me, the best play. The reason I can't go with Jokic to me because in basketball you have to play both ends. I don't believe you can be the best player on the planet if you are not elite on both levels, on both ends of the floor.
So who are you giving the MVP to?
Shea.
Giannis can only beat you in one way offensively, though.
I understand. I didn't say he's the best offensive player. Like if we want to argue Jokic is the best offensive player, sure. But my thing is to be the best player, you have to be able to you have to be elite on both ends. Same way in baseball, to be the best baseball player, you have to be elite batting and in the field.
That's a fair
So
point.
You
you'd
can be the
rather
best hitter, but you can't be the best player if you don't. In a sport where you have to play both ends, you have to be able to do both.
you'd rather have Giannis over Jokic?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think Jokic in a playoff series, Jokic is so much harder to game plan for because if you double him, he's such a great passer. If you play one-on-one, he can cook you one-on-one. With Giannis, it's kind of just like build a wall. I mean, we've seen it not work before.
I get what you're saying, but I actually believe it's easy to guard Jokic in the playoffs. You know what I do? I'd let him go for 50 every night. They wouldn't win. If you look at all of his high scoring games, they don't win because it was kind of what I mentioned with James Harden, like and Luka before last year.
He was
The
kind of
rest of
picking AD in the conference finals.
but the rest of the team was still cooking. He was getting 30 and 40s, but he still had 10, 11 assists. If you
Yeah.
just let him go crazy and make sure everybody else doesn't eat, they can't win.
With their current team, I agree with you.
So that's what that would be my game plan. If you look at all of most of his high scoring games, that when he goes for 40 and high 50, like they do not win games
Yeah.
because the rest of the team is not involved.
Mhm.
That would be my strategy for the Nuggets. I'd let Jokic cook. I'd make sure he doesn't get the assists.
Hmm.
It's the same
Yeah.
thing. Like if you think about the Laker Nuggets, like AD had a couple of 40-point games, but the rest of the team was not playing well.
So give me your top, what I say, seven? You can do five. Give me your top five in the NBA right now.
On top five, Giannis in there, Jokic in there, Shea's in there, uh, Luka Doncic, and I'd probably still go Bron.
Okay.
You put Bron and Luka over Tatum.
I wouldn't.
Really?
I don't have LeBron in my top five.
I'd probably still have him there. Um, I think that stretch from Luka Doncic from when Luka Doncic got traded to before he got hurt, bro. He was playing as good as anybody.
LeBron? Yeah, I'd have to agree with that, honestly. Like he actually matters so much for the
I
Lakers.
I think what happened. I think Luka really like got. I think he changed LeBron's entire mindset. I think LeBron really believes they can win now. I don't think he thought that they could win prior to the Luka Doncic trade.
With AD.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now he really because like when if you look at from that time, the time that Luka got traded to the Lakers to that Boston game where Bron got hurt, bro was averaging close to 30 and like 8 and 8. Like they were ball. And remember when Luka got traded, he didn't play for like another 2 weeks, and the Lakers were winning those games while he was still out, and that was because Bron was carrying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in a draft, I wouldn't take Bron because he's 40, but just like best player, I think he's probably still five.
I think
mean,
Kendrick Perkins said he's the best player. I don't think he's the best player, but
Maybe.
Cool. What do you think about a healthy Kawhi in that top five?
I love Kawhi. My problem is putting healthy on Kawhi is so like when is he healthy?
He's healthy. He's been healthy the
Those
last
two
2 weeks, and look at his numbers last 2
You
weeks.
don't go there.
That's my thing. It's just like
Oh, that's fun.
it's like when like how often can we be sure that he's healthy?
Okay,
Um,
well,
I was telling Owen this today, like LeBron being out of the lineup and Kawhi being in the lineup, like that's not regular life.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
are you
Like,
taking KD or Kawhi healthy?
all time.
Ooh, yeah, low key, yeah, all time.
Kevin Durant.
Okay.
no, right now though.
What about right now?
no, yeah, that also.
Still Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's the Suns have sucked, but he's been balling.
Yeah, he's been hooping recently.
Yeah, yes.
He doesn't have that leadership that to take.
I agree. I think I think like he needs like a Chris Paul on his team, which they had. But I think he needs that kind of guy because yeah, I think for him he's kind of that laid back. He's like, bro, I just want to hoop.
He's too
I
Um,
think
nonchalant
Did
for real.
KD play with Chris Paul?
no.
yeah, he played with Chris Paul. Remember, he got traded
Oh,
mid-season.
I think Jimmy would have been perfect with KD
I
on the.
agree. I
I
agree.
wanted that to happen.
I agree. Um, yeah, I think he would have ended up there. They said Bradley Beal wouldn't waive his no trade clause.
Mm,
Worst contract in the NBA.
yeah.
Yeah, hey man, I don't understand. I don't know why the Wizards gave it to him, and I don't know why anybody traded for him.
The Wizards were probably like, accept, accept, accept.
So I don't get it. But um, I had this conversation. I want to bring this back. I had this conversation with Marlon. Do you guys believe Steph Curry at any point in his life has been better than LeBron James?
It's hard to compare them. Um,
No.
I don't believe at any point has Steph. I don't believe at any point in his life has Steph Curry been better than Kevin Durant.
do you think Steph Curry is the greatest point guard of all time?
Yes,
Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, yeah.
But Marlon said that he believed at one point Steph Curry was better than LeBron. He said in 2016 Steph Curry was better than LeBron.
That
I feel
at the
like
time, Steph had the greatest offensive season of all time.
That could be true, but was he better than LeBron?
Uh, I don't think so.
it's hard though because you're asking so much out of Steph to be better than LeBron. Like
And Steph is like 6'1".
that's why at his
Steph's like 6'1", like 200.
at his size and position, like
Probably not. He might not even be 200 pounds.
So
like
was LeBron better than Steph Curry?
yeah, yeah, he was.
Yeah, but Steph was
But
better
it's
than KD though.
but Steph is
I did. KD got two Finals MVPs on his team.
And 0 rings without Steph.
Oh, that is true. But they were on the same team, and KD got both of them Finals MVPs.
Yeah, but I don't think that means he's better than Steph though.
like Draymond said, they were winning before he came.
Yeah.
And then he did, and then he went to
Well,
Boston.
they won when Kyrie and Kevin Love were hurt, and then they lost the next year, and then they got Kevin Durant. Do you believe that the Warriors would have won ever again if they don't get Kevin Durant?
I mean, they were up 3-1 and it took LeBron and Kyrie to play like the highest level of basketball ever seen for
They
them to
won
come back
again, Will.
and win that.
They won again.
No,
No,
but
I know, but I'm
Oh,
saying,
the pass.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I think it could have gone either way. If they played a couple more times, it could have been
Draymond said he doesn't believe that they would have ever beaten them if Kevin Durant doesn't come. He said he doesn't believe that they would have beaten them again.
It's definitely a possibility.
yeah.
It's tough to say.
Do you think that Raptors team with Kawhi that won it all would have won if Clay was healthy?
No. Oh, if Clay was healthy? No, yeah. Even if Clay was healthy, they would have lost.
Okay.
The Raptors would have lost.
All right.
Yeah.
Despite how dominant Kawhi was.
Him by himself couldn't he it was really just him.
Siakam was hooping.
Huh?
Siakam was hooping.
Yeah, he was all right.
You had Lowry.
Lowry was hooping. Van Fleet
Again, he
off
was
the
all
bench
right.
was hooping.
They were all right. But they wasn't putting up high amounts of points. It was just the Warriors couldn't match the scoring output with Clay and KD out.
Yeah.
And think about even when there was a game, the game that KD had tore his Achilles, they was cooking those boys, and then he popped his Achilles.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, I don't believe at any point in time Steph Curry was ever better than LeBron James.
Back to the Steph and KD point though. Steph beat KD in the playoffs that year.
That is true. But whose team would you take?
What do you mean? Like the
I think that was a 73-9 team. That was arguably the greatest team of all time.
because of Steph.
Oh yeah, and this is not, bro. I love
You
Steph
know
Curry. I
what?
think he's the
Yeah,
greatest point guard of all time.
I
But
think
I don't
there
believe.
was a certain point in time that Steph was better than LeBron.
I don't think so.
I think yeah, you're right. When he won that MVP, everyone thought Steph was better than LeBron.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. outside of shooting, what was he better than LeBron at?
Shot creating, getting his players open shots.
He was better than getting what?
LeBron,
Steph?
He was better than getting his teammates open
Bro, he
shots
would
than
have
LeBron?
people. Bro, do you remember the photos of people almost triple teaming him, and he's at half court?
Yeah, I understand that,
How
but
easy it is to just make a
they
basket
were
out of
also
one
triple
shot.
teaming Bron.
Huh?
They were also triple teaming Bron, and I don't think there's anybody. I don't think there's been nobody better in the history of basketball at getting teammates open than LeBron.
Well, what year did
Klay
Curry?
Thompson is a Hall of Famer because he played with Steph.
I think there was a small portion of time where Steph was better than LeBron. Yes.
What year?
Never. At no point in time was he better. At no. Again, there's that other end of the basketball court as well.
They they got the same amount of rings.
What's
Let's see what happens.
Robert Horry got 7 rings. That don't mean nothing.
Who?
I've never been a ring guy when it comes to who's the better basketball player. That's a team award.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Have you ever hear me talk about who I think is better? I'd never bring up rings.
So if there was no point in time where he was better, are you? You mean when they were at the same age or at the same point in time, right? Like I can't take a certain time Curry against the now LeBron.
Yeah, like them at the exact same time, like each year. By yeah, I don't. I don't think. I think if you ask all 30 GMs, at no point in time does one take Steph Curry over LeBron James.
I mean, you're probably right.
Yeah.
It's tough to make a case
Yeah.
against LeBron.
It's also tough because you're comparing two completely different builds. You know,
I agree. My thing was just I feel like from 20, I'd say at 2014 at minimum to like 2021, I don't believe anybody was better than LeBron James. Like he was easily the best player for at least that 7-year stretch. If not, if we don't even want to add more years on that.
I think that's a fair point.
Do you think that if the Lakers win the championship this year, that LeBron's calling it a career?
No,
You think he's gonna keep playing?
I think so.
I think so.
He's not if he's doing this at 40, bro.
I think he's at a point now where I think he was going to call it. I think he was going to play one more year regardless. But I think now, I think with Luka, he might have in his mind he might want to go play. He might want to play with Bryce as well.
That's what I was gonna say. I
Why
think,
not?
bro,
No way.
yes, for sure.
No way.
Yeah,
And that doesn't mean the Lakers are going to draft him. But even if he gets to play with Bronny and play against Bryce,
I
Yeah,
think
it's only one more
I
year.
think there's a
Yeah.
great chance that LeBron's last year is Bryce's rookie year, for sure.
so I definitely think that he would try to extend, and if Bryce can get there, he'd definitely want to play with Bryce.
Yeah, fucking Brady won a Super Bowl at
Yeah.
48. I know it's a different sport.
Yeah, if LeBron's
Still.
averaging what?
If he's
Like,
doing this at 40 is my point. These athletes are doing this.
He's averaging like 25, 8, and 8 at 40.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's gonna be able to average 20 at 45.
That's my if LeBron wanted to be Draymond Green, he could play another 10 years in NBA.
Yeah, you know what I think it's going to be too? I think Bryce is going to get drafted to Cleveland, and LeBron and Bronny are going to go to Cleveland. And LeBron's final year is
LeBron's not leaving LA.
in Cleveland. You don't think he's going to go back to Cleveland for
He's made a home. He ain't leaving. I feel like if he wanted to leave, he would have left already.
Yeah,
Okay.
He's
Because
al-
what would he be waiting on?
there's no reason for him to go back.
yeah, I don't see him going back.
I have a who do you guys think is the greatest player of all time?
It's tough because the stats kind of.
All right, so I watched The Last Dance in 2020, and after I watched that, I was like, it's MJ, seeing all the stories. But it's been 5 years since then, and LeBron is still the same player 5 years later as he was when that came out. And since then, I mean, it's tough to say LeBron isn't the GOAT.
To me, it comes down. What is you guys' criteria for the GOAT?
Yeah, like at their peak, who is the best basketball player?
That's my criteria.
Yeah.
But that's not a lot of people's criteria. A lot of it, they bring in stats and accolades. And when it comes to accolades, stats, you cannot make an argument for anybody else. The only argument you can make outside of LeBron, um, is at their peak, who was the better player. If you talk about the moment you bring in stats and accolades, there's nobody has a better career than LeBron James.
So you said you value peak though. So what peak versus peak, LeBron and MJ? You have LeBron.
I have Kobe.
Oh wow.
I'm a Kobe guy.
That's what I was
Um,
gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a Kobe guy. I feel like, but here's my thing. I'm not one of those like, bro. Like, if there was a draft and I got either three, I don't care who I got. Like, I feel good about my chances with any of them. But to me, I feel like the most complete basketball player, um, at their peak ever was Kobe Bryant. He could do. There's nothing he couldn't do on offense, and he was an elite defender. Elite.
So obviously your GOAT is LeBron. If LeBron never existed in another world, would you be sitting here telling me MJ or would you be telling me Kobe?
Well, from my criteria, it's Kobe, regardless of if Bron's here or not. But
Oh wow.
if I use the if but my I believe at their very best, I believe Kobe was better than LeBron.
Damn.
Even
That's a
really?
hot take.
Wow.
At their peaks, and I believe he was better than Mike.
Why?
And I'd
Why?
be fine with that.
Why?
But hold on, I'll get back to that. But that's my criteria is at their peak, I believe Kobe was better. But a lot of people bring in stats, accolades, and whatever else they want, MVPs, all that stuff. And to me, if at the moment you bring that in, you cannot make an argument for anybody else but LeBron. LeBron has four chips, four MVPs. He should have a Defensive Player of the Year. He has a Rookie of the Year, and he has damn near every record in the NBA history
Yeah.
book.
He's definitely had the best NBA career of all time. There's no doubt. Is he the best basketball player? That's a different question.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where my goat lies is I don't believe he was the best basketball player of the three. But I believe his career and his accolades, as soon as it's better than anybody's. He
I
has the
agree.
best career ever. He's going to be first in points. He's probably going to be top. He's probably going to be top five in rebounds, top five in assists. He might even be. He's probably already top 10 in steals, top 10 in blocks.
If that's like,
So
Yeah.
there's no to me. As soon as you talk about career, there's no argument
Well,
for
if
who
you're
has the
going
best
based on
NBA
that,
career.
then Will,
What you say?
earlier, if you're going based on what you just said, earlier you said that you have Shea as your MVP over Jokic, but Jokic is what, top three in points, top five in rebounding, top five in assists. Shea is what, top five in or top th first in points, and then that's it. Not that that's not impressive, but if you're going by, what you just said, like stats, like different brackets,
Mhm.
then Jokic should be your MVP over Shea.
Well, no, I think MVP is different. I also thought Shea should have got it last year. For me, what Shea is doing, I believe. See, and here's the people go like a lot of people go. If you took Jokic off of the Nuggets, what would happen? My thing is, if you took any star off of any team, unless they have two of them, they're going to be trash. I don't believe. I believe if you take SGA off of the Thunder, they'd be just at. That I could argue that the Nuggets will be better without Jokic than the Thunder would be without SGA.
Well, the stats say that like the Nuggets are the worst team in the NBA when Jokic is off the court, and the Thunder are still a good team when Shea's off
That's
the
when
court.
he's playing. But if you look at they've won a bunch of games while Jokic was just out. Jokic just missed like the last week, and I'm pretty sure they won all their games.
Because Aaron Gordon stepped up, but prior to that, I mean, give me.
I mean,
But
they won
Jokic, the good thing is neither one of them missed games. But for me though, I think what SGA is doing, his scoring output, which is what the Thunder need. I think his scoring output plus, bro, they're just so far head over heels record wise over everybody else.
That's the thing. That's what the NBA values for MVP. It's not really who's the most valuable player. It's who's the best player on the best team.
I would argue that the criteria of the MVP changes every year
Yeah. It's
because
not,
I believe SGA is going to get it this year, and I believe he should have got it last year. But they gave it to Jokic last year, and they're pretty much having identical years because SGA was first in the West last year, and last year the Thunder came out as a surprise. So I really thought he should get it because nobody expected the Thunder to be number one in the West last year.
Yeah.
and they gave Jokic the MVP based on stats. This year they're going to give I just don't see them giving Jokic this MVP, and Jokic is having a better year than he had last year, and he's not going to get the MVP. To me, there's no consistent criteria for the
Well, I
MVP.
just think the Thunder are so much better than everyone else. Like last year, it was a close race. And this year, you said the Thunder are 12 wins ahead of second place. They're just way
Yeah,
better this year. Makes
yeah,
sense.
the Thunder have 12 losses. The next closest is Houston at 26, so they're plus
Yeah.
14 in the loss column.
I don't think it's the same as last year.
I think it's very similar to, and I argue last year SGA's case should have been even stronger because nobody expected the Thunder to be as good as they were.
Yeah.
People thought maybe that they're like, okay, OKC's coming, they can make the playoffs. Nobody thought they were going to be first in the West last year.
Yeah, but then they choked.
No, I agree, but the MVP is not a playoff. It has nothing to do with the playoffs. That's why to me it's like there's no criteria for it. And what Jokic is doing is great, but I think I just think what he's doing is a lot easier than what Shea is doing. I think Shea has to do a lot more
Really, you think?
to be effective. Like, because I think what people look at Jokic's numbers is like, yes, he's averaging a triple double. To me, though, the points, the rebounds and stuff should be easy. He's 7 foot tall. He should have the rebounds and the point and he's one of the best players on the planet. So the points are easy. And yeah, and he finds wide open guys. Um, for me, what Shea's doing at 6'6", dominating the way he's doing. Granted, some of it is foul baiting, but the points he's putting up right now at this clip, like he has they put up a stat today, and it was like if you took away all of Shea's fourth quarter points, he'd be second in the league in total points scored.
Yeah, I saw that stat.
I think only Ant-Man would have more points if you took away all of SGA's fourth quarter. I just think his degree of difficulty is higher.
Fair point.
That doesn't make him more valuable, though.
Well, like I said, I think if you took Shea off of I think if you took Shea off of Oklahoma City, they'd be in the lottery like they had been prior to Shea being this good.
Hmm. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Especially with Chet being out, he was out that first what 2 3 months of the season.
yeah, it's tough to say.
Chet is good, but Chet is overrated, man.
No, I don't think Chet is a superstar neither. But I
Chet is,
believe if Chet was hurt and there was no SGA on that team, they obviously they wouldn't be nowhere near 60-12. Let's see. Dallas is 35-38, Portland 32-41. San Antonio 31-40. New Orleans, I think they'd be somewhere between San Antonio and New Orleans. San Antonio has 31 wins, New Orleans has 20 wins.
yeah.
I think Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon could get the Nuggets more wins than OKC without Shea.
I don't know. That's
I
interesting.
disagree. I disagree.
Yeah, I would probably have to disagree too.
I don't think OKC has enough scoring without Shea. Who else is going to score?
Well, just if they're knocking down shots, because like pretty much they just
They're not
drive,
going to be that open without Shea.
but they just drive and kick. Like that's like Shea will drive, kick, next person
You're
will.
talking about with Shea. I said take Shea out.
Well, I mean, I feel like their offense will stay the same. So if they're hitting shots, then
I don't see that. I feel like their team. Granted, like they have Jalen Williams, but I feel like to me their team was like before Shea was cooking. OKC was in the lottery every year. That's how they got all these players, and their team would be the same.
Also, they got him because the Clippers traded him fucking 50 first round picks for
Yeah, how do y'all feel about that trade at
and
this
the
point in
MVP
time?
for Paul George.
How do y'all feel about that trade at this point in time?
Down
It makes me sick that Shea was a Clipper, bro.
sick to my stomach. The Clippers did one thing right in the entire franchise, and that was obviously they didn't draft him, but get Shea, and then we lost him.
Yeah, that it definitely sucks. But at the same time, you wouldn't have gotten Kawhi without that trade.
But yeah, people hate on that trade so much because obviously in hindsight, it looks really bad. But at the time, PG was coming off his best season. He was like third in MVP. And we had just got Kawhi, and we needed a second star. So
Yeah. That was the thing. Kawhi wasn't going to come without a sec. He
yeah,
needed a second guy.
Paul George just straight robbed the Sixers. Oh my God.
I
He,
think
he's
I
playing.
think I think he'll bounce back next year. I think his problem I remember he hyperextended his knee in the preseason.
Yeah.
And then Joel Embiid was shut down at the beginning of the year. So I think he came back trying to like help them start the season off, and he just was never healthy. They said he's been shoot. They said that entire last month before he finally sat down, he was shooting up his knee. That's something you do in like the playoffs. You
it's
can't
been a
shoot up your
brutal
knee the
one.
entire season. You're gonna be dead.
Yeah.
It's been
So I
brutal.
think I think he can bounce back.
If he bounces back and Bede's healthy, Maxey plays, and McCain will be back, dude, the Sixers are scary in the East.
Well, they have no choice but to run it back because I don't believe anybody's going to take any of their players right now. I don't think you can trade Paul George right now. I don't think you can trade Embiid right now. So they got no choice but to come back and just hope everybody's healthy and they can mesh.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree.
But I think they should have shut it down a whole lot sooner than they did. I would have shut it down a long time ago,
Mhm.
and I would have just tanked for Cooper Flag.
Mhm. Fair enough.
Now
Yeah.
think about it. They had the number one pick coming into this summer
Yeah.
with
That
those guys coming back.
that'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah, I agree. And then getting an 18-year-old Cooper Flag.
Yep.
Got Duke winning March Madness.
Um. Yeah, them or Auburn.
I got Duke.
Them or Auburn.
I
I'm
picked
not
the
the biggest college. I don't like college basketball because I don't like the basketball that's played. I think it's awful basketball.
Really.
Like
That's a hot
watching it, I
take.
think it's awful basketball.
People say it's better than the
What do you
NBA.
not like about
I
it?
think it's more exciting because like more like you can have like granted most people don't know half the college players anyway. So I think it's just more exciting because I think it's more exciting because the game is so bad. Like the you can't
Really?
like the game is not going to like those games are not going to be as low scoring and high intent. It's so high intensity because players can't dominate because the way the game they don't allow their players to be the best versions of themselves.
I feel like March Madness is like basketball in its purest form. Like all these guys have everything to prove. You know, in the NBA, all these dudes are so rich and they go home to their hot wives and huge houses and luxury cars. All these college kids have everything to prove.
I agree with that. I think that adds to like the excitement of why those players like play so hard. But I just think like from a straight basketball perspective, the game like the it is ugly basketball. Like it is not pretty basketball to watch. And so for me, I don't like watching it because I don't believe college coaches allow players to be the best versions of themselves because they all try to make them fit into like whatever the college scheme is.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what college basketball is. It's
And that's why I don't like it.
they're not training players to be NBA players. They're having them be college basketball players. That's
But
why
that's the problem. They should be. That's what most of those players are in. They're trying to get to the next. You should be training them to get to the next level. So you should be putting them in. That's why so many college players come in and they don't play well in the NBA.
Yeah, it is very different. Like you're watching a college basketball game and you're just like, all right, this is like so much different.
I think that's what makes it great.
It's yeah. That's why yeah. Some people love it. For me, I don't like it because I don't like the brand of basketball. Like if it was me, if I was the number one high school player in the country, I wouldn't go play college. I would have like when the NBA had the G League Unite, I would have went to the NBA G League.
You know they went bankrupt?
No idea.
Oh no, Team Ignite went bankrupt in Vegas.
Bankrupt?
Bankrupt, yeah. So they spent so much money playing at the stadium and so much money on advertising, thinking that a lot of these it would draw more attraction and more money to, these G League games, and it just didn't because at the end of the day, it's the G League, so they ended
Yeah,
up
I don't
going,
think anybody going to G League game.
yeah.
Unless you're the Capitanes.
Oh yeah, Curtis is a huge Mexico City Capitanes fan.
I don't know what that is.
Juan Toscano Anderson.
You know Juan Toscano Anderson?
Oh, Juan Scott. Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, he plays for them.
Oh,
They're
okay.
they're like a team in Mexico City in the G League, but yeah.
Got it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Curtis loves them.
But yeah, that's my thing. I think basketball like is I think basketball I love NBA basketball, especially playoff NBA basketball. I think it's the best version of basketball we get. That and the Olympic.
Yeah,
I don't
Olympics.
believe I don't believe college basketball is a proper form of basketball. That's why I don't you don't see well granted the NBA G League doesn't exist like that. But I think that's why players don't like if you notice all the very good players from college, I feel like always end up being three like they have to go 3 4 years. The one and done's usually like outside of Zion, you had Zion, AD, um, Kyrie. A lot of it takes them so long because they have to adjust to an entirely different game.
Yeah,
The role players adjust quicker because their roles are what they're playing in college, so they adapt fast. The stars, it takes them longer because they're playing an entirely different game. They're not fitting into a system. The system now fits to them,
fair enough.
and I don't think it prepares. And I just don't like the way. But that's what some people do like to see that game back. And I think it creates parity. College basketball is it's a lot of parity in it because of the way it's played.
Yeah,
Like if you allowed Cooper Flag to just play 1 on 1 the whole time, that dude, like he averages what 17 right now. He'd average 30. There's nobody that can stop Cooper Flag in college basketball besides his own coach.
It's a good
Not
point.
allowing him to go out there and beat Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
you got him going to the Wizards.
Yeah, whoever gonna be the number one pick, that's where he going.
Where would you like to see him go the most?
Uh, it was up to me, and he can go. Let me check these bottom. Let me check these bottom seeds.
I got him. I'd like to see him go to Charlotte and play with Melo
I think Melo's out of there.
this year.
I think so. I think this summer I think he might be one of those players that might request a trade. I think he's gonna get
Bro,
about.
he wants to come to LA, whether it be the Clippers or the
Yeah,
Lakers.
yeah. This is where he's from. I think he for sure gonna want to get up out of there. I don't like at this point. It's like why? Like if I'm him, why would I still want to be there?
Yeah, the Lakers don't
They're
have
not building anything there.
the Lakers could essentially give like a first Austin Reeves,
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're
a
not giving
first
up
Austin
Reed.
Reeves, and like something else for Melo. You wouldn't do that?
I wouldn't do that.
Really?
I'm
Okay.
sure Lakers fans think Reeves is better than Melo, right?
Reeves is so cold.
He's not better than
I think Reeves is better for the Lakers than LaMelo. I don't
Yeah.
think he's a better player than LaMelo, but he's better for the Lakers than LaMelo.
Yeah,
Um,
Because
I
LaMelo
also
doesn't have third option in him.
yeah.
yeah, nah, LaMelo gonna be out. Yeah, bro, he gonna yeah he
Maybe until if there's a
he gonna come and take the ball from Luca like and he just gonna start dancing and shooting half. Nah, bro, give the ball to Luca and Bron and go find your role. Yeah,
Yeah.
LaMelo ain't doing that, bro. But Cooper Flag, I don't know. I don't want. For me, I would love to see him in Philly. I just don't know if they're gonna have a low enough pick at this point. Because right now it's New Orleans ahead of them, Utah's ahead of them, Charlotte, Washington, and then they're tied with Brooklyn. So right now they'll have like the fifth best odds for the number one pick, which they could still get it, but that's where I'd love him in Philly. I don't.
Brooklyn.
I hate. And obviously it has to be that way, but I hate great players having to go to trash teams.
Yeah, Brooklyn's got to figure out what the fuck they're doing this offseason.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And none of these teams have like, all right, maybe. Well, if Zion, I think Zion's gonna be out of there too. But he could go to the Pelicans. Him and Zion will be great. Him, Zion, and Trey Murphy.
Yeah, for the 6 game Zion plays for the season.
True,
Yeah,
true.
that would be.
I mean, he's finally playing games this year. I didn't think we'd actually get to see him play basketball this year, but
Yeah.
he finally slimmed down and got to play some games. So we'll see if he can keep the weight up. To me, I always thought he was going to be injured because he reminds me of Blake Griffin, except he's in a smaller body and he's more explosive than Blake Griffin.
Yeah, true. He's been.
But that was Blake's problem. He was like, for him to be that big and be that athletic, you knew he was going to have injuries. And Zion is in a 4 inch shorter frame and he's heavier and he's more explosive while being heavier and shorter. It's
Yep.
not going to work.
He's not supposed to jump that high.
No.
Yeah,
A man that size,
that
in terms of weight with that height, it should not happen. And so it's just bad on his knees, it's bad on his feet, his hammies, it's bad on everything.
Yeah.
That's why all of his injuries are always soft tissue.
yeah. I
His
agree.
body just can't handle it.
Well,
All right, to wrap it up, I want to hear one thing from you guys. I need your biggest hot take
Okay.
Biggest hoop hot take.
Stephen A beats LeBron in a boxing match. No, I'll play it. I'll
Hot
play
take. Oh man. Um, hot take.
Clippers make the Western Conference Finals.
I think it could happen.
Not a bad hot take.
Take. Um, I think the Warriors could win it all, bro.
One it. Oh no.
Win it all, or no, at least make the chip. Yeah,
You think they can get out the West?
yeah. I think the Warriors can make it out the West for sure.
I love Steph. I just don't know if if they got enough shooting around him to do it.
With Jimmy,
I don't know about this year, but I think they can come back next year and be really good.
Yeah, if they add some more pieces, I agree. Their team is like to me, it's just their offense is so clogged.
I don't have them making the chip, but I think they very well could. I don't know. I can't really think of a super hot take at the moment.
Interesting. What you got, Curtis?
Shit. Can you guys like help me out here?
Will say yours and then Kurt will say his.
What you say?
Say yours and then we'll end with Kurt saying his.
My biggest hot take. My biggest hot take would be the Milwaukee Bucks go to the finals.
Hell no.
Healthy.
Hell
I believe they're the only team in the East that can beat Boston.
I agree.
I
agree.
trust the
I agree.
Bucks.
Who else? No, yeah, Cleveland's frauds.
I believe Cleveland. I think that would be my hot. If I was to give a hot take, it'd be Milwaukee can if Dame is able to come back from this blood clots and he's healthy. I think they can get to the finals.
Why don't you believe in Cleveland?
I need to see the rest of these guys come and play and come to the party. When the lights are bright. It's one thing that you can do all this stuff in the regular season. To me, like they were good. They were good. Donovan's first year in Cleveland didn't do anything, and then they've been suspects since. And I don't know if I've seen any growth from.
I think Mobley's taking a huge step. They added Hunter.
Yeah, I like Hunter.
Ty Jerome took a big step.
Ty Jerome, yeah,
cool. Kurt, you have your hot take?
It's similar. Like people said Jalen Williams took a step last year too, and the playoffs happened, and what happened?
That's true, but the Cavs have multiple guys who can handle the rock. The Thunder only had one last year.
I think Garland hasn't come to the party though. Garland's been in a couple playoffs. Granted, like you said, like you never know what's gonna happen year to year. But for me, it's like at some point when you see when I've seen them like flame out so many times, it's like I gotta see it to believe it.
Is Garland a player you can count on? Or
that's my point. I don't believe we haven't seen it yet. And so for me, it's like when I've seen it for multiple postseasons, it's like now you got to prove that you can do it before I'm going to be like, oh yeah, they could be like I see you do it in the regular season, but the playoffs is completely different when it's just you and them for 7 games and they know exactly what you're going to do.
I agree. Do you have your hot take?
I'm gonna say that just because I don't believe in them so much this year, I'm gonna say that Denver is a first round exit.
To who? To who?
Depending
who
on
beats them?
Western Conference Finals.
Depending on their matchup, but I'm gonna say first round exit for Denver.
Who? But who's gonna beat them?
Huh?
Who's gonna beat them in the first round?
Any of the teams that are in the playoffs.
So Clippers, Warriors,
T-Wolves.
T-Wolves.
Wow.
It's going to be one of those three.
Hey, they're not going to play Houston.
It's going to be one of those three.
Yeah, I got Denver losing in the first round.
So we got Denver losing in the first round, Warriors making the Western Conference Finals, Clippers making the Western Conference Finals, and the Bucks making the chip.
Bucks making the chip.
Dame's healthy.
Yeah, Dame's healthy.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, this has been fun.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we're gonna check it. Yeah, man, y'all always welcome, man. I know Lucas wants to come on a lot, so bro, you can come on whenever the hell you please, and you guys are welcome too.
Yeah,
Yeah, we should definitely do another one like midway through the playoffs or
for
Yeah.
sure.
We
Yeah,
should do some playoff recaps for sure.
Yeah, for sure. We can do some play. We can even come on right before the playoffs start once everything's actually finalized.
yeah,
Predictions,
That's a
yeah.
good idea.
yeah.
We can come on we'll come on and we'll do our play-in predictions and then how we think the rest of and then we'll do our actual playoff predictions then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
love it.
let's
Sounds
do
good.
it.
Fire,
Hey, Will,
bro.
thank you for your time, bro.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank
sir. Nah, man. Thank y'all, man.
Appreciate you. Anything else?
Nah,
Like,
man,
comment, subscribe.
yeah, man. Like, comment, subscribe, man. It'll be up at the top, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all tap in and make sure y'all share.
All
But
right,
other than
brother.
that,
See you
Appreciate
guys.
you, Will.
we thank Owen, we thank Lucas, we thank Curtis. Peace
Yes,
out.
sir.
Have a good
Thank
night.
Will, bro.
Yep.